Alex Jones is kind of weird, right?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
Hi, I didn't expect to see you here. I actually live here, so I don't know how you got in. That's cool. No, I mean, we'll discuss, like, you know, like felony charges, like breaking and entering later, I guess. Alex Jones, he's been like around the block on the internet. If you aren't aware, he ran an internet show called InfoWars, basically spouting nonsense on the internet all the time, which isn't uncommon for an internet creator, but the man takes it a step farther with things like saying the Sandy Hook shooting from 2012 was fake and not real, which led to real world consequences. And for stuff like that, his show was taken down. And ever since then, he's kind of dropped from the public eye. And I think he's used that as an advantage to kind of rebrand as a more normal human being. Let me just say, first of all, this is not the case. You can grow a beard all you want, dude. You are still going to sound like an insane person. And I see people are like, you know, Alex Jones recently is like kind of making a lot of sense. Like, honestly, like he doesn't sound as crazy as before. And it's like, no, he's not screaming. That is the only difference. The words are the same. And I feel like there's no better example of the weird shit he's been getting up to recently than a podcast he was on over the summer of this year. So I want to talk about this podcast and the fucking insane things he talks about fully seriously. When you start out the video, it's like riddled with disclaimers talking about how the stuff they're talking about is like a joke and it's for like artistic integrity and shouldn't be taken seriously or believed as fact at all, which if you have to mask over your beliefs with that, first of all, the reason they were putting all these disclaimers is because he was on this podcast once before, and last time it got taken down by YouTube, but probably taken down because he said some fucking insane, horrible shit. Now, with this next podcast, they're being very clear that this is a joke. Don't take it seriously. Nothing that they're saying is meant to be real or that is their actual beliefs. Of course, in a 2.5-hour podcast, this is not the case.
Yeah.
Yeah. You definitely
No, but I mean, I think we should talk about that in a serious thing. We're getting the comedy. Up front is that...
No, this is all comedy. This is all jokes. This is all comedy.
It is all comedy. But my point is, imagine a world in a country where things are so censored. I was on your show a few months ago and said something that they took it down for, which I won't even say.
Nothing they were saying was real jokes. It was all pure comedy. And you shouldn't take anything they're saying seriously. Not even 5 minutes later, does this sound like they're telling jokes?
Fauci said, I am science, don't question me. So again, I get on my knees and bow to Fauci and say, okay, you are science, I never question you again. That's not what, everybody knows science is about questions.
I don't know where the punchline is in this joke. The joke, I guess, I'm just going to assume is that they're all idiots. That's the tip of the iceberg, okay? That's child's play. What we're going to get into later is actually bonkers.
Well, here's the thing about the media. You say a lot of things over the years, 5 hours on the air every day, and the media takes stuff out of context and then makes that who you are.
Right.
And it's not fair to free speech anywhere. I was seeing, like in the UK now, they have these government boards that will decide before a newspaper article is published whether it's woke enough. That's called censors. Who died made these people God. It's very dangerous.
Yeah.
What does Alex Jones think he's doing, like, on this podcast? He's talking about these very, like, serious subject matters. And just, like, look at the fucking circus that he is, like, sitting in the middle of right now. Are people expecting to, like, take him seriously? Like, obviously they want you to take them seriously and, like, listen to what they're saying. Otherwise, they wouldn't have uploaded a 2.5-hour long podcast. That's besides the point. Let's keep watching.
Don't you miss it?
Oh, absolutely.
Don't you miss just wilding out, having fun, saying whatever the fuck you want?
Well, absolutely, because as a gun owner...
Come on, dude. What? What a clean point A to point B segue that was. By the way, this is in the chapter, How Much Money Does Alex Jones Have? Okay, and now he's taking off his shirt. All right, let's keep going.
Because who are the people that we've looked at and you're like, why the fuck are you famous? Like, do you ever look at someone and go, why the fuck are you famous?
So this is the part I really want. This is why I want to make this video so bad, is this section right here where they question fake celebrities. And first of all, before we even continue, these fucking hosts, they don't really add anything. They're just egging him on. They're just agreeing with everything he's saying. And it's kind of just like, this is kind of what they're doing the whole episode here.
The very idea of it. So they go, oh,
Yeah.
let's censor
dude.
these idiot David Duke people. No, let's hear David Duke.
Yeah,
He's
man,
an
that's
idiot.
crazy.
He discredits himself. Like, why do I want to censor him?
That's a good point. And listen,
He's
as
an
a gun
idiot.
owner myself,
You look at The Rock and you go, that guy is super funny. He's photogenic. He's super good looking. We know why he's a movie star.
Exactly.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know why he's a movie star. But yeah, a lot of these people who are the fakes, it's because they are little corporate mouthpieces that go out and say what they're supposed to do. And I think somebody like this, like Stephen Colbert, he was funny as the Stephen Colbert character.
He was really good.
Yeah.
Whenever the jokes were being written by Jon Stewart. Now, or whatever it was. The point is that now they admit like Charles Schumer, the senator of New York, calls him and says what should be in his bits.
No.
That's in the news.
No.
Same thing with some of the funnier late night guys who used to be really funny.
Yeah,
you wonder, why aren't they funny now?
Yeah.
They admit in the news that they get calls from Democrat spokespersons, and like Senator Schumer goes, I'd like you to talk to this guy. He's my cousin. He's a funny guy. And those guys know that corporately their job and their contract is pursuant to a weird New York senator.
So basically, Alex Jones is saying that Stephen Colbert used to be good, and now he's not because Democratic senators are puppeteering his show and telling him what to say and do now and not before his old show. He's also referring to when Colbert had Democratic senators on his show last year during quarantine, and how it's a sign of censorship and I guess, I don't know, just media censorship in general, when in reality, he probably had those people on his show because this was in the middle of the lockdown. At the end of the day, it's all about the streams and the people watching. And if you get somebody who's supposed to be fixing what's going on the show, like, people are going to tune into that. They're going to watch that. I think I'm missing the point a little bit. Let's see what else they have to say about this.
All the old weird shit's like, oh, rainbow flags. Oh, look, black people. It's all exploiting gay people and black people. There's nothing to do with rainbow flags and gay people.
Listen, I don't know if it's 100% true, but it does make perfect sense that a guy like Stephen Colbert, who was absolutely hilarious when he was on the Colbert Show, he was absolutely hilarious when he was on the Daily Show, moves to this late night show and is just not funny. He's just not
because
funny.
they give the speech writers, they give the joke writers, here's the talking points, make it funny.
Whoa, that is a huge claim. So what they're saying now is that Stephen Colbert, he used to be funny, but as everybody knows, you and me know, Stephen Colbert isn't funny anymore. This is an objective fact that in no way can be contradicted by differing opinions. You know, humor is, as we all know, objective. The reason this objective shift happened is because of this very validated and real claim that he gets his jokes approved by senators and congressmen to forward their agenda.
You're saying once you're on network TV, you're part of this system that dictates the opinion of the joke.
Only starting about 10 years ago.
Do you think, and here's just throwing it out there, do you think maybe because Stephen Colbert used to be a very conservative talk show host, you thought he was funny and didn't have a problem with them, and now that he's taking a little bit more of a left approach to his show, that now suddenly you've adopted this idea that he's being controlled by some higher power or whatever? Actually, as it turns out, the conservative side of Stephen Colbert was the scripted one. And once he joined the late night show, that's when he dropped the character of Stephen Colbert. You actually have the scripted side reversed. Stephen Colbert stopped being funny to you when he stopped feeding you your own opinions. And so now you're coming up with this fantasy that he's being manipulated by some outside force to make yourself feel better for not liking his show anymore. Do I know what I'm talking about? Let's move on.
Before they thought news could manipulate people, but people learned that news was bullshit. And so they went, okay, what do they still trust? They trust comics, they trust movie stars. So comics and movie stars were always political, but they fully came in, and now their full thrust is that.
This is why Alex Jones has such a following. Because he'll just say the most insane shit, but act like it is 100% true, backed by real facts. And it just is believed. I guess if I just say it in a convincing way, people will just believe me. And I just can just make up whatever I want. This is awesome. And I mean, it makes sense coming from the guy who's very anti-censorship and very pro-First Amendment. And like, obviously, like, on the surface, that's like a normal thing to want to keep around. But if your goal of free speech is just so you can have the authority to just say whatever the fuck you want with no accountability, that has a negative impact. Like, really bad shit happens when misinformation is spread like wildfire. I mean, literally fucking first week of this year. Like, did you not see the news? Everyone there was there because of a lie and a thing that wasn't true. Oh, wait, sorry, that's right. You were there. I feel like I'm turning into Hassan right now. I don't want to be Hassan. All right, the rest of my laundry's done. I'll be right back. Hold on, I forgot a basket. Be right back. Honey, I'm home. Where were we? Sorry about that. My laundry was done. It was done drying. Anyways, oh yeah, being mad at people on the internet. Now, to be fair, am I doing exactly what Alex Jones wants me to do by talking about him? Yes. In fact, he literally says so multiple times in this podcast.
So then I learned that next level of like every channel is saying Alex Jones runs Trump. Alex Jones is a psychotic. Alex, look at these crazy things Alex Jones did. So they'd edit all these weird things I did and funny things I did and joke things I did all together, and then it only made me bigger. So then they thought it would hurt Trump, made Trump bigger. They could have just ignored me early on. They made me like way bigger.
It's like they don't even realize.
No. More attack pieces, please.
Yeah.
So, I guess kind of counteractively, it's impossible to talk about him without helping him. Listen, I just wanted to make a funny YouTube video about Alex Jones. Some of the stuff he says has a little bit of truth to it.
It's not that people that care about Black Lives Mattering are bad. It's that corporations are hiding behind all this wokeness. It's like, what is a corporation that makes cruise missiles telling us about this? It's a distraction.
Just stuff about like tokenism and like performative shit companies do rather than actually making real progress with their real internal issues. They talk about that a little bit.
Oh, put a black guy here, put a woman here, but it's not because those people aren't capable. These companies have created monopolies here blocking everybody from moving up, and then they just put a few token people up in front. Go, oh, look, our spokesperson's black. Did you actually really put the people on the board of directors? Did you actually fund their real businesses? No, you gave them a little pat on the head.
I mean, they're kind of right. Huge corporate conglomerates will just like put on a face, you know, Pride Month, they change their profile pictures, and then in the background they're like fucking firing their employees or whatever the fuck. For every one nugget of like actual insight into social issues that they give, he'll say something like,
I mean, I remember the ACLU would say, I don't agree with the KKK, but we're going to sue this town that won't let them march. Let them march. They get laughed at and yelled at.
Yes.
Now they like ban them from marching. Now they ban everybody from marching.
and then that brings me skyrocketing back to earth. Like, why am I listening to anything this person is saying? Even if a little bit of the stuff they're saying is true, that's how they get you to listen to the false stuff, because they talk about it all the same.
Yes.
Now they like ban them from marching. Now they ban everybody from marching.
They're just banning everybody. First the KKK, and now slippery slope, dude. Listen, this podcast goes on for another like 2 hours. Frankly, I'm good watching this. If you want to watch it, don't. Oh yeah, don't even get me started on the god-awful comment section on this video. It's one thing to just talk about somebody just like raving by themselves with like no fans are listening to, but the reason I want to talk about this is because he has such a huge and like dedicated fan base, and that's what's the scary part. I mean, the video itself has like over 1 million views, which is one thing. You can, like me, like hate view it or just like point and laugh at it, but it's the comments, it's the depraved comment sections that really just lowers my faith in humanity a lot. Always found it funny how Alex was portrayed as a right-wing nutjob. He is. This is true. It's clear Alex hits nerves with the corporations. If he was the crazy conspiracy theorist they say he is, they wouldn't be so afraid of him. Great show, guys. We'll watch more. First of all, they're not afraid of him. And the reason he's an issue is because people like you think that he's telling the truth. And that's what's scary. Alex Jones is a legend. The guy is super entertaining while all the while dropping truth bombs. Did you even read the disclaimer at the beginning? Because none of what he's saying is actually meant to be taken seriously, dude. All of what they were saying were jokes, right? They weren't being serious. Thank you for giving him the voice that he needs. The mainstream is too scared of him for what he knows. The man with the $5 million net worth is being oppressed, and he's not given the voice he needs. Oh, poor Alex. Oh, they will ruin the day when he drops the truth bombs on all of them. Alex is a national treasure. This dude's timing is so perfect, he should be a fucking comic. Love this dude. Jones is the greatest man that ever lived. Okay, my battery's about to run out. You can read the rest of these comments if you want. Don't. Thanks for watching the video. I don't plan on, I hope this wasn't too like political. I don't plan on doing this again. Unless like, I don't know. He's just saying crazy shit. Like, I feel like most people can agree. This is just, regardless of where you like lean, this is fucking weird, this stuff he's saying. Hold on one sec. Oh shit. Sorry, that was Nancy Pelosi. I gotta stop talking. I'm not allowed to say this part. I gotta take a phone call for my congressional overlords. But I'll see you guys later, okay? Just yeah, and like and subscribe too, okay? That's also coming from me as well, not just. Are we good? Are we good? Okay. Can you leave my dorm now? I got homework to do.